The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. After our first dupe dream in Vintage Story, we came back to Oxygen Not Included. We then used our rockets to go to different asteroids. We went to a water-filled asteroid, a lava-filled asteroid, and we also went to a frozen asteroid to get our final crop. After going back and forth multiple times from the water and lava asteroids, we made our last and final endgame materials. While doing this, we also finished upgrading our main base, and also found both the Temporal Tear Opener and the Temporal Tear. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included.
So, in the last stream, we started ranching the clams so that we can get pearls for making these hydroponic farms. We started doing the flume corals with 2 lights per coral to get us enough oxygen for all of our dupes. For those who don't know, each coral gives enough oxygen per day for 1.5 dupes. So if you have 2 corals, that's enough for 3 dupes. So we have enough right now for 6, 7.5. We do want an 8th, but we don't have enough pearl. We have 84.6 kilograms. We need a total of 100 kilograms to make another farm tile. That's going to be placed here so that we have enough for 9 dupes here. But we do have 2 coral down here just to go with the beacons, because they have some synergy between the beacons making light and the coral needing light to make oxygen. So that's the only reason why they're here. So technically we are already finished with this. We don't really need this last one. We actually don't need this one because we're not going to be going very far past 8 dupes. I think that's going to be our max, just like with our Frosty DLC. But anyway, we are feeding the beacons using the starnicles, which the starnicles need coquina. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And coquina is this, not that, is the purple stuff. We also have it in the background, which we can dig up if we need to later on. We are still eating the soda canes. We did gain 2 dupes in the last stream. Our food is slowly going down over time. We're not really keeping up with the amount of dupes we have. So I think one of our main priorities for today's stream is to get a fully fleshed out food system. We did try to ranch the snails, but for some reason we had 2 snails here and they just died. We were feeding them. We were not ranching them yet because the I forget what it's called. The grooming station was not here. But I don't know why they just died. I think maybe we killed the eggs or something. I don't know. Snails need to stay moist. Oh. So by us dropping the mucin, we effectively killed them off because they dried out. That was something not explained to me previously, but that does make sense. Because no matter where I saw them, they were always walking in their mucin. Okay. So what we could do Unless this is an industrial... I don't know if I can put industrial machinery in this. You almost had a mass extinction, but realized I think we did have a mass extinction in this. I don't see any other biomes that would have a snail. Most of our snails that were on this game were killed by poke shells before it got to them. So that's why there's mucin here and no snails. I'm actually going to mop that up so I can have that mucin. And we're doing the spaced out asteroid size. So we have already discovered most of the asteroid. We've discovered the full width because right here is neutronium. So there's no other width that we can go to. There we could get a chance of more being over here. I don't think we will. Sand, phosphorite. Trying to look at all the visible tiles. Oh, we could. We might get more over here. You're also on the spaced out size too. It's quite brutal. It is. It is. I for my main, when I do it for like mass efficiency, I always do the default size, the non-spaced out DLC size, because you get so much in one asteroid that you don't really need to leave. But for spaced out, they obviously made it smaller so that you have a reason to travel to the other asteroids. We could get lucky down here. I mean, we didn't even get into the biomes that have the squids yet. So we might get lucky. Oh, we also have more nosh beans over here. If we find snails, we'll fix up the ranch for them. Let me make sure that still is a ranch. Oh, it's not going to be a ranch until we put the thing in there. That is 46 tiles. We weren't going to do a full size ranch. We were only doing... Wait a minute. 46 tiles. We need 48. Just deconstruct those 2 tiles. I thought I did this correct. Oh, right. Because this is 3 tiles here. I didn't need to place 3 tiles. I need to place 1. That makes sense. All right. And we can't block that off or else this will be separated. Anyway. Now that we've gone over everything that I think we've done, the one other major thing that's changed in this scene is that there's not going to be a camera anymore. In the future, when we are done with the Stone to Space story, the video game is going to be the entire screen with things layered on top of it. But right now, just for editing for YouTube, I'm keeping everything off of the video game. Stuff like chat, the other pop-ups like the Pokemon. If we get a raid, that's not going to be on the screen. If we get a new follower, that's not on the screen. This is all going to be just the games for YouTube until Stone to Space is done. After that, free game. So anyway, let's start playing, figure out what we're going to do. I do want to know what the best foods are with this. I think the majority of this DLC is based off of the fish and getting sushi. Mind looking at the space net to see what guys and volcanoes you have on that one? Yes, I do not mind. We have a bunch of water. So we have the natural gas geyser. We found 2 of those. We have an iron volcano we found. We have a hot polluted oxygen vent we have not found. I think we found the cool slush geyser at the top, or that was the saltwater geyser. Actually, I think we found both. This cool slush geyser is not opened. The saltwater geyser is opened. I think we found the polluted brine vent. We didn't find the leaky oil fissure. No, actually we did. We might have found the carbon dioxide geyser, I'm not sure. And then this is our teleport linked one. The only thing that we'd come over here for really is the liquid sulfur, so that we can feed one of the critters. I forget which one eats sulfur. Something in this planet pack eats sulfur. Is it the seahorses? No, they eat pearl. Was it the bloateers? No, they're waterweed. Was it one of the plants? Lime, sand. I can click on a beacon. Phosphorite or Starnicle. Starnicles eat that. I don't remember what required sulfur. Gum plum and tubula eat sulfur. What is tubula? We haven't seen that. Or tubula? We haven't seen this. Aquatic organisms that sprout in hot liquid environment. Oh, we haven't seen them because we haven't gotten to the squids yet. They're with the squids. We get plastic from them. That's pretty cool. That'll be a reason why we have polluted brine. Gotcha. Regular brine. You feed that to the glow squid. That gives us abyssalite. Why do we need abyssalite? Okay, for the bionic dupes. And isosap, reed fiber for insulite. You can also feed them to the shatter floxes for dirt, or the abyss bugs. We might, nah, we're probably not going to do this. I do want to look at the regular squids, though. Is that the regular squid? Isn't there 2 squids? I thought there was 2 squids. There's the red squid and the black squid, isn't there? Do I just type in squid? It shows both of them. I think this is just showing the same thing we were just at. I could have sworn there was 2 different squids. Well. Oh. Anyway, we probably should search around more and look for the squids. We are going towards a specific research for moving the eggs of the fish. So what I'm going to do is automate picking up the fish eggs so that we can keep the eggs coming. We are going to do a a debris drop-off point right here where this beacon is. That's only going to put in an egg in this area when we're lower on beacon numbers. So if there's like only 8 beacons in here, we do have to do the math on how big this is, but let's say this is a full range of 8. If there's 7 beacons, it's going to allow the next egg to stay in here and incubate and then fill in the number. If there's already 8, it's going to go somewhere else. Why did it just do 2 balls in chat? I guess because I don't have hippopotas, male or female. I don't think I'm going to fix that later. Or no. So hopefully I didn't use 2 Ultra Balls, but anyway. That's going to be done when we're done this. We do have a mechatronics engineer as far as I know. Yeah, I'm already mechatronics out. It looks like Sophie is done with all of her skills, so we're not going to use any of her skills again. Otto, our researcher, needs to go into material studies terminal so that we can do radiation science. I don't think I need to get into astronomy because we're not going to do anything. Actually, we might need orbital data. Do we need anything in this tier? Don't need anything at the bottom. We don't need the jet suits, radiation reactor. We don't need diamond. We don't need debris sending. We might do the aquatic milking station for the squid ink. I don't think we decided on doing Ovaline. But we definitely want the radiation science so that we can get the sushi bar. That's part of what we're doing here, I think. I think after this we want to get into the smeltery and the rubber boot stuff. We definitely want the vulcanizer so we can turn latex into rubber. Latex, we need to pulverize the tree stuff. And I do want to ranch trees. As you guys said, sulfur is for the trees. So let's keep an eye on how much sulfur we have. That is not how you spell sulfur. We have, we'll round that up and say we have 13 tons. We do have more around the place. So if I start digging out the entire asteroid, we have enough. What to do first? I'm not sure. I don't know what the best food for us is right now. We get a small amount of barbecue. Most of our food is cooked seafood, going off of the fact that this is mostly aquatic. So let's do the math with cooked seafood on Professor Oakshell's website. We're gonna look at this for a total of 8 dupes. And then I need to scroll down to find seafood. Or is it cooked seafood on this? It's cooked seafood, okay. Fish fillet, yes. Inputs, we need 5 kilograms of fish fillet per day, per cycle. If I look at the ranch calculations for that, we want to not do Peku, we want to do Beacon. Ranch size 96. What is our ranch size? So we have to do this and subtract 6 tiles, so that's 66 tiles. Yes. I don't like that size. Mushbur goes a long way when you don't kill all your snails for next time. Alright, Redneck. 66 tiles. They need 12 each, right? So technically right now I can only hold 5? Why is it not saying... Where's the thing that tells me 8 cells? Let me do the math on this. 66 divided by 8. 8 critters! Oh, we can do a full ranch. Alright. Sarah Mucin is a lifesaver early on to save water for research. That is what we were looking for at the Mucin when we were going to try to do this. We were going to use it for water-related stuff. So beacons, 8 critters. We want this to be 66 tiles. Max critters per ranch. We're actually going to turn that to 8. Oh, it automatically does that. Nice. Does the math for us. Desired output. Yes, we do want 5 seafood per cycle. Don't care about how much phosphorite I need. I just want to know how many fish I need. Actually, this is saying that the outputs for this specific ranch will give us 5.2 kilograms of fish fillet per cycle. That translates to 8,320 kcals of cooked seafood once cooked. That is enough for 8 dupes. So we actually don't have to worry about food if we can get this up to a full 8 critters. We technically have 9 because there's a baby in there. So this is we have food. We don't have to do soda canes anymore. We just need somebody focused on cooking. Okay. I definitely want to keep these here because I don't know if I get rid of them now if we'll have enough food. We do have lettuce and mussel tongues. We actually have a lot of those and a lot of salty sticks. You know what? We're gonna turn these off of auto harvest. When they fully grow, we're gonna deconstruct them. And we're gonna turn this into our workshop. Now, I do need somebody in construction. It's Bubbles. I need somebody to get to demolition. If I skill scrub them right now, they won't have basic swimming, but I could get them into demolition and then with the next skill point put them back onto basic swimming. We don't really need improved farming right now. We do have Yelp, our rancher, can do farming. We put Bubbles into farming, one, because they're interested in it, but also to help with farming. But we don't need a second farmer. We're going to put Bubbles into the skill scrubber. I also really like using the tidal turbines for this free and easy power. I think I might end up using the Aquatic DLC as my default starting base. The downside of a turbine is dupes don't train their legs. That's a good point, but I never do that. So for me, it's only pros. I know a lot of people will put their dupes in a gym where they're running constantly on a hamster wheel to power a light. But I never do that. I kind of just let them get their skills over time. It does mean that when I get a new dupe, they walk incredibly slow compared to the rest of the dupes, but I'm not really too worried about them. It looks like we're about to be done once Otto has done that research. There we go. We can start doing our ranch idea, or sweeping idea. We do need, apparently, refined metals for that. So I could either... do we need either of these? Research building, we have that covered. Doctor digging, we could take the doctor, but we don't need digging. Doctor, rocket, suit wearing. Pretty much only skill interest that we care about in this is doctoring. I'd rather wait, because we don't really use doctoring 100%, I'd rather wait for something else paired that we're going to use. So we'll take the pemmican. Alright, let's look at automation. We have the critter sensor. We don't have automation unlocked. So we don't have the automation wires. Do I need anything else from here besides just the automation wire? We already have the critter sensor. I don't think I need the cycle or timer sensor. We definitely don't need light and the starback location. I might need the knock gate. I don't need element sensor or gas element sensor. The weight sensor would be a plus for various rooms, but I don't think we need it. We definitely don't need this stuff. How are we getting rid of carbon dioxide? Hold on a second. Because we're not getting rid of carbon dioxide, are we? I'm pausing because Bubbles just got out. We're gonna have to worry about carbon dioxide in the future, but for right now, we're gonna get just the automation wire. And then Bubbles, I need you to go into demolition so we can get rid of that thing. And then since you just got a skill point, we'll put you back in basic swimming. And improve construction 2. I have all my skill points. Sophie has all her skill points. The only one that doesn't is Yelp, who does technically have... No, because we had them in plumbing. Technically, Yelp has an extra skill point. Because grilling would go down into dive master, and we wouldn't have these two. Actually, those two would be improved carrying. Yeah, technically right now Yelp is completely done. The next skill point we won't use. Name generator. Bubbles or please. So for Bubbles, I'm gonna assume. Where is she? Right here. Oh, hold on. Lost my headphone. There we go. Bubbles. Bubbles are. Alright, we'll place the bubbles, can go get her skill points back. And then we can finally get rid of this. Wonderful. These are now all ready, so we can actually start getting rid of these and replacing them with regular tiles. Let's do that. I'm gonna place that in, and then we are gonna be placing in tiles all down here. This is a layer that we're gonna be using. I don't want that there. Luckily, they can still get over here from this ladder on the left side. Welcome in, Dotterly. Dotterly, did you know that on our channel, your dupe made our first Whopper? We made frost buns, and you are the cook on our main asteroid. It's a big thing for us. Okay, this is going to be the new crafting-like area. So we're going to have the rock crusher over here. I guess I should put the skill scrubber over there. Because that's pretty much all the space we have. So I will place this there. This here. Can I also has one? Frostburgers at 90 degrees sounds amazing. 90 degrees, wait a minute. You are in a slightly hotter area than I am. Although I think my weather is getting hotter today. So we're gonna do this, bring that there. We're gonna connect these in through here instead of up here. Or we keep a redundant system. We'll do that. We could also go like this just for redundancy in case I break a wire somewhere. Okay, we have our automation wires now, so we can start doing the automation stuff over here. I'll wait to start the next research for a little bit. Let's... Actually, no. We want to get into the smeltery so I can save on metal. We want to get into here. That'll also give us our poles. What's this? Hollywood press. We're not going to use that. I do need a specific thing, and I don't remember what it's called. Is it the pulverizer? We need this. Today we should get to 45 with Humididex. That is above 100. Can I change to Fahrenheit? That's not what I meant to click on. That's just... Nope, go back. Options. Is it part of graphics? Thought it would be. Data commute. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. If I switch to Fahrenheit. Actually, let's take. There's our base. 32 degrees. I feel like that's a little warm. Yeah, our base is hotter than it is outside of my area. Welcome in, raiders. Wait a minute, who is raiding? Welcome in. I feel I may mess up your name. I'm a little scared to try. Ninjet? I think that's right. Welcome in. For those that don't know me, my name is Codeman9000. On our channel, we are playing every single one of my games in a specific order to showcase mankind's progression through technology. So we did a chapter of games on medieval city builder games like Manor Lords, Settlement Survival. We did a chapter on modern city builder games like City Skylines and Another Brick in the Mall. I'm spacing out on other games we played. But we're now in chapter 3, which is all about space travel. And we're playing Oxygen Included as our space traveling game. So welcome in. Libra. I don't know if I said that right. Two Bob Games, that's a cool name. Icy Videos Ton. Hopefully I'm saying that. And a special thank you to Barbaroni, who said to come right here. We are playing the newest DLC and just starting to move stuff around. What are we even using this for? Organic. We did this for eggshells because we wanted people to put stuff in there, but we don't need that. You've gotten all the names correct? Nice. I'm going to assume that you're also an Oxygen Not Included player. But what were you guys playing today? And also for those who came in with the raid, feel free to lurk. I don't know if we're going to do anything below this layer, but I want poles there. I want poles here to at least this layer. Should probably put a ladder right there, just for movement's sake. You were also playing Oxygen Not Included. Were you doing the newest DLC, the aquatic DLC? Or were you just playing regular? This is my first time playing the aquatic DLC, although nothing is a spoiler for me anymore on this. We actually just got rid of our temporary food source because we are now ranching beacons. So when we get the smeltery, can you use salt water in the smeltery? I've never tried. I've always used regular water. I'm assuming it just heats up any liquid you put in it. I don't think it has a... I don't think it's going to tell you can't use a certain liquid. Anyway. Just got the Icy Planet and Space Out, so I'm new to that. Those are probably two of the most fun things. The Space Out DLC is definitely the best DLC, in my opinion, and a majority of others. And the Frosty DLC may be the next best DLC, or this one is the next best. I'm not sure. Both the Frosty DLC and this DLC are kind of like small additions that don't really add too much to the game. But anyway, it's a lot to learn after 300 in the base game. There is, yes, there is a lot of time, or a lot of stuff to learn. I have been playing this game since 2020 or 2021, around the time that it first came out. So I do know quite a lot. I do have a lot of time in this game, and I'm trying to figure out how to go more south. That's why I keep bobbing up and down. I want to go more south without messing with this pool of water. So I think we might drain this into there. Two Bob Games, Bobbert has been helping me learn. What's the next thing you are learning about? We now have the smeltery. That's another thing I was waiting for. Not the smeltery, the metal refinery. So we want a pool of water that we can heat up a few times. We'll definitely use this. We'll put it right here. Learning a spawn. Oh, do I have everything to do a small spawn? We can probably do a spawn just to show you the mechanics of it. I don't have the gas pump. Just not dying, that's fair. The 3 things you need to worry about for not dying is temperature, air, and food. You can make a very bare bones spawn with just 1 electrolyzer. Electrolyzers, that's the rust deoxidizer. This machine here turns water into both hydrogen and oxygen. With the gases, the hydrogen will always float to the top and push the oxygen down. This machine also makes enough oxygen for a total of 8 dupes to survive. So if you're only going to do 8 dupes for your total colony, or anything less than that, you only need 1 of these. And they don't require too much. You know what? Since we just finished our research, let's research the gas pump, and I will build a very bare bones, very quick spawn. I actually could just go to our main base. If I switch games, we're gonna cancel this. We're gonna switch games, actually. So I'm gonna save this. We're gonna take a quick detour to our main game for the story. If we go back to Shady Acres Paradise, we have spent almost 3,000 cycles on this one playthrough, because we keep going back and forth to it between taking breaks. When you're learning here, you gotta learn. Welcome in, Icy Viation. Or Viaton. This game does take a little long to load because we're so close to 3,000 cycles and we've built a lot. So, Viaton. Thank you. This may be overwhelming if you look at it trying to learn everything that we've done, so we're just going to focus on the spawn. We're going to zoom into our very large spawn, where you can make one very small. The music changed, so we're going to load into it soon. Okay, here's our main very large base. I'm going to play for a little bit so that everything updates. But in the beginning, because of your screen design, now can see without glasses. You're welcome, Dotterly. I did change the screen so that we could do that. Okay, so here is the electrolyzer. It looks a little different than what you guys may have because I won a skin design for it, but it still functions the same. So with the plumbing overlay, you know what, this may be too much stuff. Let's go to Persephone, because I know I made a very small. This is the basic bare bones spawn. It does require a little bit of automation, but it still functions the same. So you pipe in water from any source. We have 2 different water sources feeding water in here. That's why there's a pipe going both directions. That then turns the water into, I don't know why that's there, oxygen and hydrogen. We put it in a liquid so that it forces the gases into an infinite gas storage, but you don't have to do it that way. You need at least 1 gas pump for the hydrogen. You feed that hydrogen into a hydrogen generator, which I don't think we actually have one, but we do over here. So that will create power from the hydrogen created from the electrolyzer burning water. That then goes into powering the spawn. So that's how it becomes self-powered. You then can put gas pumps at the bottom underneath the electrolyzer because oxygen goes down, and that will go into your base. The automation is just so you don't over pump out the stuff. But if you're not doing an infinite storage like I did, you don't need to care about over pumping it, because you could just put it to where you can pump out both. Especially if you use a gas filter, you can just filter out oxygen and go to one direction, hydrogen go to the other. If I very quickly do a temporary thing over here, I could build one. So the first thing to worry about is electrolyzer. We'll do this just for looks. You have your water source come in. I prefer going from the right, but it doesn't matter which direction you go into. Then, because we're not going to do this without automation, you could just put 2 gas pumps, because 1 gas pump will fill a pipe halfway. Each gas pipe can fit 10 kilograms. Each pump can only pump out 50 kilograms. No, that's how much it goes up. 5 grams per cycle. So each pipe can hold 1,000 grams. So you put 2 pumps, you get a full pipe gas. And then could just do this. And out here we would have this, that, gas filter. This would be the oxygen. And then the gas going up would be for the hydrogen, which would be power. That can just go right here. This goes in there. And then should be able to do this all on the very small power line. If we do the math, the only thing you have to worry about is how much power you have. You also should probably have a smart battery. Probably the most power you're going to, or most automation you're going to require. Because the smart battery will tell the hydrogen generator to stop burning hydrogen once this gets to a full battery, so you're not overusing stuff. But if we look at everything in a power setup, that's not helping me. The gas pumps require 240 watts when in use. So you have 480 required there. The electrolyzer requires... You've never seen it so small. This is the most you need for 8 dupes. Thank you for the new follower. The electrolyzer is 120, so we're up to 600 watts needed. You can do this without the gas filter, but we're going to count this as part of it just for right now. That's 120 watts. So for total, this bomb right now requires 720 watts when everything is in use. The hydrogen generator right now creates 800 watts. So this is still a power positive setup right here. You can keep this bomb and still be making more power than you need to run this. But so that means the smart battery will become full, and that will tell the hydrogen generator to stop burning hydrogen. You can do more things that get complicated. If we go back to Wudado, this is a very large spawn, but it still does the same game mechanics. You just need more and more things added to it when you add more power required stuff. But it still works the same. We have water coming into all these electrolyzers, hydrogen up here being sucked up, being put into hydrogen generators. Oxygen's down here getting picked up and sent throughout our base. We have transformers here because there's so many things being powered that you need to separate them even when using the conductive wires. Congratulations, Gene, on catching that Pokemon. But it all still runs the same principles, and you only need one smart battery for all the hydrogen generators. You don't need to do another battery for each hydrogen generator you place in. You only need one. But that's the bare bone basics. I'm actually going to go back to Persephone and cancel all this, even though I think if I don't save, that won't be there. Hopefully that made sense and may make it easier for you to do it on your own. It did take me a little bit to understand the mechanics of a spawn, but they're fairly simple. Apparently there's an invalid construction thing here. We got rid of that and it didn't get rid of. You're welcome. I'm happy that I helped. So let's go back to the second temporal terror frontier. Load up our save that we did before we left. This should load fairly quickly. There we go. Because we haven't spent much time in here. We're almost to our cycle 100. Milestone. I was forgetting what the word was. We are still dropping water in here, so I'm going to tell them to dig this out so that the water stops flowing here, which is making it go to the right as well. We do need this in here. That is going to draw too much power for this wire to handle. So we're probably going to need to spend time beefing up the power lines, which means I'd have to get in here. Or something that I learned from Willow Rainey, who is also currently live, playing Oxygen Not Included. Let's do a shout out. Willow Rainey, currently live playing Oxygen Not Included, does YouTube shorts and videos that showcase different game mechanics. Their YouTube videos are very good and very informational. So if you guys want a small info bite of how to make a spawn, they probably have one. They have a few for how to do different volcano taming, so you can get different things from the volcanoes. That is a good dupe for us to use. Tidying rocketry. I'm almost tempted not to get the free food. I definitely don't want just a tidier. A cook may be useful. We'll take the fries until we get something mixed with cooking. But one thing that Will Rainey taught me is that if you put a wire bridge, if you overload the wires, the first thing that will break is a wire bridge. So this is a good way to stop the thing that you know is breaking the wires from continuing to break wires for other important things. So hopefully, because this is 1,200 watts, or requires that, when this wire that can only handle 1,000 watts gets overloaded, it'll break the bridge and not the rest of the wires. We're gonna hope for that. I am a little skeptical that this is gonna work, but hopefully it does. We do need to put a pump down here because we need to get water into here. Well, not necessarily water, but a liquid. And we should be able to swim through this entire area. We should be able to do all this. Actually, I think I need to go this way to drop out the liquid. So we'll put that there. We do need to connect this into power. So we're gonna go straight down. And then that should be all we need for this. Oh, here's one of our other tree. Where's the tree seed? I see the wood, I don't see the seed. We do have 2 units, so we do still have the 2 seeds from the 2 trees we had. So right now this is filling up the metal refinery. We're going to use that to turn some zinc into refined zinc. Is there carbon dioxide sitting here? There is. We kind of need a way to get carbon dioxide out of here, but I think I'll just ignore it. I also want to turn deconstruct onto buildings only, so I don't accidentally deconstruct something I need. So if we take a look at this, this will now turn 100 kilograms of zinc ore into zinc. The rock crusher turns 100 zinc ore into 50 zinc and 50 sand. So using the rock crusher, you're actually losing zinc. We're also about to reach our 100th cycle. We should also do our first prediction now that we have some other people here. So, with our predictions, you can use channel points to hopefully win more channel points by choosing the correct option. What we do for Auction Not Included is that we do a prediction on what our blue pod up here is going to give us. So I'm not going to if I can speak, not going to click print, but we are going to do a prediction on this. Is this going to give us a pair of top clothing, being a shirt, Atmos suit, helmet, or gloves? Is it going to give us a piece of bottom clothing, being pants, an Atmos suit, or boots? Is it going to give us a building, being like a storage bin, a new toilet, anything that's required to build? Is it going to give us a decoration, being anything an artist needs to change in order for it to be what the thing gives us, like a sculptor or a painting? Or is it going to give us a piece of drywall as a wallpaper? You guys get to choose any one of those 5 options starting right now for the next 10 minutes, and then after some point I will remember to open this and see what we get. We do get a lot of clothing, but I don't think that means you need to choose clothing. What we're going to do right now is we're going to turn this to being 4, I think, because I think the auto sweeper and the conveyor loader require 200. Yes, so we do need this to be done 4 times. Now, it is going to take in water and put out the water, the same liquid, until that liquid gets too overheated. And looking at what's breaking, we are breaking the bridge only. I think we already got our zinc. Maybe not. It is taking a lot of power to do this. Now we have our zinc. I'm still wondering how these necessarily work. Is it better for us to allow it to soak up a lot of water? Also, we have 100 pearl. We can do our final oxygen thing there. We do have a full refrigerator of food, so we have some food that's lying around on the floor because we don't have a way to store it. You know, we're actually doing pretty good on our power getting to some, because we're only doing 4 sets of that. Copy settings for you. Thank you for doing hydrate. I'm now gonna take a sip of all my water. I was talking about the pearl because we're probably going to make this clam plum not farmable. But I think it's time that we break these open. Even though we just spent the last stream closing them in, that was because we needed pearls. I don't think we need to carry about this pearl anymore, because every pearl that we get from here on is going to be just a bonus thing. That should allow these to suck up more liquid, meaning that we get more power supplied because they're spitting out more liquid. How much power are we making between these two? We're only making 600 watts. That's why this isn't working 100%. We would need 4 of these to run this constant. Okay. We do have 200 zinc now, so we can place in some of this stuff. So put the auto sweeper there. We're going to put a conveyor loader here. So let's do this. They'll go like that. There's going to be emptier here. I then want automation. Critter sensor. I'm going to want a floor there. Oh, you did a walk-on! Congrats, Nick! We haven't had someone do a walk-on in a very long time. Most of our walk-ons, if not all of them, are all for other streamers right now. That's gonna go there. So this needs to be sent to below 8 critters, and we don't want to count eggs as part of that. So right now this is going to... oh, this is going to allow every egg. So we do want it to count eggs. Okay. So when the autosweeper picks up the eggs from in here, it won't be counted as part of that because it'll be on the conveyor loader. The rest need to go somewhere the fish will die off so we can eat them. So I need to make a place for them to die at. I'm not really sure where to throw them out at. We finished all the zinc, so I can put the conveyor loader in here as well. And yes, Redneck, if you're asking the question, you can DM me on Discord. Let's bring the power down here. And then I don't want them flopping around for forever. But I think if we just do 2 tiles right here. Maybe not right there. Let's put it over here. We can just put the remaining eggs up here. Because that's not included in this room. And then they'll just flop until they die. We could put water there, but then it's going to block the oxygen from leaving that area. So I don't really want to put a liquid right there. I'm also going to wait for them to build this before we start moving the eggs out. Don't know why that's sitting there. Okay. I actually don't think we need this anymore, now that I think about it, because we have these starnicles in here. This was only there so that if the starnicles weren't fully grown, would we be able to feed the beacons, but now we can. So we're gonna build that in, that'll make this back into a ranch. And then we can turn this to critter eggs, which is probably at the bottom. Beacon egg. So now the next egg that's in here should go up here. So I guess the conveyor rails do still count until it gets into the tile. So let's do this a little bit different so that after picking this up, it immediately goes to the correct place. We'll do that and then deconstruct these 3. So the moment that this gets picked up, it should bring the egg outside of what this can count. And all the phosphorite that's in here, I'm going to allow them to eat. I don't really care for it. We're going to pick that up, not this though. Let's get the zinc ore. I think everything else can stay in here. I am going to relocate this one egg to here though. Oh, you're picking up the egg. That's why they had 2 tiles here. Okay. When we place in this tile, this auto sweeper won't be able to see in that corner anymore. That makes sense. I was wondering why the person I'm copying from had 2 tiles here. Alright, I don't know what they're doing over here. Let's do regular blueprint. Pike apple bush seeds. Decorator, tidy, researcher. That is a great dupe if we needed the researcher. Pike apples are a very easy to ranch food from the Frosty DLC. Could take the research cooker, but I think we have a lot of researchers. Let me look at this. That's research. I'm going to do skills. I know we have one person that likes researching. Oh, we don't have a second researcher. We're gonna get our first cook. They can cook and research. Let's look at skills again before I do the wrong thing here. So that's our rancher. They don't need to do plumbing. When we find a tidier, we're going to take them off of plumbing. They are going to have the dive master. Our digger is done. The researcher will be after doing improved carrying and swimming. I am done. Bubbles will be soon. So the first thing we're going to have them go into is grilling. They will go into advanced research so that they can use the supercomputer, while the other person using the material study terminal. Let's get them in there. We need to take Yelp off of cooking, so the skills scrubber, we have to put Yelp in there. And then I need to move Yelp to somewhere over here. And I also need to make a second schedule. So that we don't have too many people on the schedule. So we'll move them down there. The schedules are useful for separating the bathrooms. Because if you have all 8 people going in here and there's only 4 bathrooms, people are gonna wait. They may wait too long and pee on the floor. So we're trying to prevent that. And I had to separate the new dupe from Yelp because Yelp has radiation that they give off, and that produces a light. Alright, what's the next research we're going to do? I think we stopped the research. We do need to get in radiation stuff. We probably should get in the gaskets because there's probably a few gasket things, or a few things that need gaskets that we might end up building. I don't really see anything else that we would require. Feel cheated if we're gonna shorten the name. I mean, if you want to shorten the name, you did. It doesn't matter. You can change the name for free. You already did the name redeem. I don't mind changing the names. Which one would you like? I'm sorry, Redneck. Didn't mean to call it Bubbles like that. I'm just clowning around. What's in the pod? Are we ready for the pod? Oh, we are ready. Let's see. Well, first I am going to tell them to get into radiation stuff so we can start going to the other asteroid and get radiation power. Because we need to unlock the sushi bar for better food. We do need the pulverizers, that's more important. Alright, in the pod, we have 1,100 points in tops, 10 points in bottoms, another 10 points in buildings, 30 points in wallpaper. I hope for ironic sake, it is not a decoration thing. Otherwise, everyone's going to lose points. Let's see who wins. It is a pair of socks. That is a pair of bottoms. So whoever put 10 points into bottoms, you are now winning all the other points. So congratulations on whoever won. I can't see who won right now. But if I look at this, I can. Congratulations on Ninja. Is socks for the monument that's building, right? Is it for the... No, it's not for the monument. It's footwear. You see it on the bottom of the screen. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. That was a building. That's not the first time that I've done that. That was for this, so we can look at a blue style water. I know, Redneck. I was robbed. I'm sorry. But no, the socks is not for the monument. I went to click back into the game because you guys couldn't see my cursor, but at the bottom of the socks, you could see that said footwear. Next person goes to me no matter what. I mean, I don't know. We do need to do priorities for cook, so we're going to take Yelp off of cooking, and Nicola needs to go on to cooking. The rest of the people, I don't think we need to tell them to focus on anything. Actually, Yelp and whoever becomes their farmer is going to be the next two things. Ranching, cooking, and farming are going to be the only three things we prioritize. You still have 55k without an idea what to do with them, it's fine. Yelp just got out. Let's put him back into his skills. So Yelp is our rancher. That's the hat that we're going to go with. That's farming. They also need dive master. And I suppose we'll put them into plumbing until we get another tidier. So they're going to start getting fully maxed out on their skill points. Bubbles ore. Next thing, I guess, would be farming. Or we could get them into improved carrying too, so that they have the extra 800 kilogram carrying capacity. I don't think these stack. I don't think it's 400 plus 800. I think it's a total of 800 plus. If not, that's... Actually, no, it is. It does stack. Because I've seen dupes carry more than 800 kilograms. Yeah, okay. We'll do that so that the builder can carry more. Anyway, we're trying to get the pulverizer so that we can get the, we can turn the gumwood into latex and turn the latex into plastic. So probably should go in refinement and find that other building, the vulcanizer. Latex must be delivered via liquid pipes. Requires 200 refined metal, so we need to turn this back up to being on. Something I could do, just so that we have a way to get down further without moving this water around, is to build in tiles over here to where this ladder is, so that we can keep the liquid in this area. I think I will do that. Just so that I'm not messing with these liquids much longer. This won't delete any of the liquids. It actually might delete the polluted water because it might not have anywhere to go. But this should just make the water level rise. We can actually let this sequin out of here, because we have a pearl set up here. We actually have 100 pearl now. We have our fish down here flopping around. So they're going to keep flopping around until they get too old and then they'll die. That'll give us extra fish. By fish, I meant extra seafood. And we have to keep an eye out for more snails. I don't think they're going to be in here, but they could be in there. Yeah, we definitely did get rid of the polluted water. Another thing I want to do this stream before I forget is we want to come up here and tame the saltwater geyser so that we have an infinite saltwater source going into feeding the coral. Because right now we're taking the saltwater from down here, which is happening very slowly. Like the corals are constantly taking water, but this isn't pumping constantly. How frequently does it get used? In the last 5 cycles, that entire time between those 5 cycles, it was only used 2% of that time. We also finished the research. So we have the pulverizer now. Juicer, is it a food thing? No, it's a spice grinder. That would be for the kitchen. Something in the kitchen requires the spice grinder, so it's a good thing that we have that. But we're gonna put the plant pulverizer down. That does make a liquid. Awesome. Take the vulcanizer, put that right next to it. We'll grab some pipes and just go like this. And we have to go an extra tile up. I also think that we're gonna have to take a quick restroom break. So I will get them to finish these tiles. We'll set up them doing the next set of tiles, and then we'll go into our break as I stretch. Alright, let's do from there all the way down. Alright, and then we're going to take our break and come back in just a few seconds. And we're back. So for those who were here at the very beginning of the stream, and here for the beer back scene, you guys would have noticed that the 2 scenes have similar clips, but the beer back scene at the bottom of each clip had the title and the name of the person who created the clip, where the starting soon scene had the same clips but did not have those words. So that's what I was talking about earlier. I'll be changing that so that they both do have the same things. Anyway, we are now going to build a ladder going all the way down. I may do the pole. I'm probably not going to. And I'm going to tell them to deconstruct all of this. I'll leave these tiles here because they're not going to really need to be deconstructed. But I am going to dig all that out. Alright, so this, we want to turn gumwood into latex for forever. That will then get sent to the vulcanizer, which needs power. When that's running, it's going to take about a half of these tidal turbines, so we're probably going to need to tame another one. Paku! Dig suit decorator? No thank you. Although you do come with super duper hard digging. That would have been a good dupe at the beginning of the game. We're gonna do this. I then need to tell them to kill these off very quickly. Oh, they're going over here. Okay. I thought they were gonna fall down into this big pool of water. Anyway, now we get a little bit extra seafood for that. Discover new ingredients or research new technology to unlock some recipes. I don't think I need to do that. I think I just need them to finish pulverizing one thing and then it'll automatically do it. Right? I think so. There we go. So that's going to turn latex into rubber. Where's the next closest tidal source? Oh, right here. I want to see how much of this water does it take. So I'm waiting for it. Right now it's spitting out liquid. I want to see what it goes down to when it sucks up the liquid. Will it go all the way down to here? It doesn't. Okay, so there's more liquid in here than it needs. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this. This one keeps running out of liquid. I want to see how frequently it turns on. Oh, right here. Alright, it might be worth doing something to give this more water. And then we need to get in here. So let's do a tower like that. That should mean that we don't dig into the salt water at all. Oh, that's right, this is dropping off in there. We need to change where that's dropping liquid. Let's go to there. Bring this down to here. This seems to be doing pretty well now. It doesn't seem like there's another one of those tidal forces over there. There is one right here that's stuck behind the sand. It's a water weed. We have a bunch up here that we can take from, including these if we give it water. Ceiling collapse because of sand. Let's do that and that. I'm gonna tell them to pick up stuff in this area if they have nothing else to do. Okay, we have a way to get over here. I need to dig into here to separate the water, or to connect the water in. Let's not dig that out, now that I think about it. I do want to make this a somewhat closed system without messing with the plants that are down here. Don't know if I can very well. I think what I'll do first is just go straight up like this. And see if that will not mess with the water too much in this area. And I need to continue adding tiles over here. We are going to use this one to test how much water we need up here. I should probably also uproot this Starnicle. How is there liquid right here? Okay, that there. We're gonna keep building in tiles. This is gonna push the water level up higher. I could combine the water levels. So it'll be like a pool of water all the way around this. Let's add another tile on both sides, see if that is enough to stop the water from overflowing. And now I want to see if this is enough. It doesn't seem like it is enough. So we definitely want a little bit more water in this. So we're gonna want to dig this out. And over here. I'm gonna need some ladders because I'm not gonna be able to grab everything. That's not what I meant to grab. There we go. Here. There's a Magnemite in chat if anyone wants that Gen 1 Pokemon. Let's see what we have here. Operating, cooking. That would have been a better cook than the one that we... No, actually, we have an operator. Doctor suit. No, we don't really need doctoring. We don't need ranching. Radiation eater. Reverts radiation exposure into calories. I've never seen that before. I'll take the algae anyway. Let's look at our skills. I know it's probably our 3 original dupes. It is not. It's actually our researcher. Don't need that. Wait a minute. No, that's stuff for making databanks. This is the databank user. Okay. We're gonna go into improved carrying. Then we'll get into basic swimming, dive master. And Sophie is now stuck in a place she can't breathe in. Alright, so now I want to know if this is going to create more liquid to go up farther. I want to get this to the point where it stops sucking in water before it lowers down to 1 tile. So I want to see how high this goes, because I don't think it's going to go higher than these tiles, but it could. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bottle emptier right here. No, I'm not. I put a bottle emptier right there and put tiles here. Because it looks like the water is going over this occasionally. So we're still in the way where we're losing more liquid in here as we go. Because there's carbon dioxide stuck in here. I'm hoping that when this goes back up, the carbon dioxide will get pushed out and over. Ooh, it doesn't. Okay, let's do salt water, enable water bottle. We're gonna keep bottling in water until this stops going down to 1 tile. Let's also make an easier way to get up here from the bottom, which would be here. Like that. I'll add that in as well. Okay, we should be able to mop this up again. which we actually don't need to do to 2 sides because they can mop a 3-tile wide area. And all we're trying to do is go further south to find the other critters. We're almost up to 300 kilograms, which we're going to need for ranching our 3 gum palm trees, sorry. Alright, I need to see if this went down any further. I do want to turn this into an airflow tile. What do I need to get to airflow tiles? 2 researches done. Okay. I think we're getting down to the point where it doesn't need more water. We're gonna keep an eye on this saltwater tile now. No, still went down further. Let's turn that back on then. So now we have the basic gas stuff. We also need to get in here for the building. I just realized that. Ooh, that requires the gaskets. It almost got to the point where it stayed in that tile. So what I'm also going to do is put in a couple ladders here so they have more space to work with. And this. I don't know how we're going to get through here without releasing all this liquid, but we're going to go like this for right now. And just go to there. Actually, if I go like this and put a tile right there, before digging that wire out, we can put the wire in. Now that it's the start of the next hour, we are going to do our second of 3 predictions today. We already did one. So, in the top left corner, that little blue button, is it going to be another thing of tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? The one that I accidentally clicked on does not count. You guys have 10 minutes again to decide, starting now. So now we have 3 tidal things working. I'm still trying to get that carbon dioxide out of here. Ah, this grazed. Okay, so we need to open this up a little bit. Let's dig there and there. Hope that that's enough to our... for us to drop this so that the carbon dioxide goes out of here next time it goes back up. I'm hoping it comes over here and just drops down. A little bit did, this little bit won't. Does this completely drain out again? Yes, it does. It's still filling up with water. This is probably going to take a while for me to figure out how much liquid we actually need. So this cycle, it ran for half the cycle so far. Who's super stressed out? Nicola. Probably because you don't have the skill points or whatever. No, you have way more morale than you need. So why are you all stressed? Zombie spores. How are you getting zombie spores? That's the floral scent. This is all food poisoning. Hey, what? How does Nicola have zombie spores? If I go to another dupe, does that number stay the same? Oh, it does stay the same. So they don't actually have germs. I don't know why. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Pop the eardrums. Yeah, there is too much oxygen over here. Unrested, they probably got too much light from Yelp going past them. It should be fine though. I don't know what's going on. Let's see what's in this pod. Ranch tiny. We have a rancher. We'll take the pemmican. Oh, we finally reached what we were trying to do. So we'll be able to see how high this goes. And then that's how many tiles we need for each one of these. Is it going to reach the other tile? It gets up to about 800 kilograms up there. Okay. We are going to replace this tile before it starts spitting out the next amount of liquid. And then we could close this off up there. I want to get all this debris out of here, though. We're going to close it off. We might as well make it look nice. We still have carbon dioxide stuck in here. That's so we can get down here and grab all this debris. You know what? Let's just deconstruct all that. We'll wait for that to have to swim in here. And the carbon dioxide pushed some of the liquid out of here. That's annoying. Apparently I don't have a good bite. So I just threw 2 balls again. We may have to add a little bit more water. We do not. I do want that carbon dioxide out of there though, so let's do the airflow tile again. I might do it over here too, I'm not too sure. Congratulations, Gino, on catching that Pokemon. Alright, we should be able to do this now. And then I want to somehow get this built in when the water's up. I don't think they would have been able to build it before the gas started coming back in. I think that carbon dioxide's going to come over here and go back into here. Please go to the right. Oh, it did. Nice. So when it starts filling in that next tile, we can block this off. Dang it, didn't get it. Oh, because of soggy feet from right there. With there being a gas in there, this is going to become overpressurized if I don't get rid of the gas. I could just pump it out. There we go. So now this is going to have a vacuum. This won't ever become overpressurized. And I can see how high we need this. 8 tiles. From the bottom, right? Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8. Two, 4, 6, 8 up here. We should be able to put in a tile right there and right here because it won't suck up any water from the bottom. And then this side's going to be a little bit more tricky to build in. To do that, we're gonna have to dig this out just so I can build tiles here for us to deconstruct later on. But this should become a vacuum. Yes, it is a vacuum. We can take that out. This shouldn't overpressurize ever. But we actually need that open. Because we need to be able to get in there to get the debris. Welcome in, Raiders. Willow! We were just talking about you earlier. For those that don't know me, my name is Coded Man. On this channel, we're playing all of my video games in a specific order to showcase mankind's progression through technology. We did a chapter on medieval city builder games like Manor Lords, Settlement Survival. We did a chapter on modern city builder games like City Skylines, Prison Architect, other things related to modern cities. And right now we're doing a space travel chapter where our main game is actually not included. We are currently playing the new DLC, the Aquatic DLC for first time, although there's nothing in this DLC that is spoilers for me. Well, I hope you had fun playing Action Not Included earlier. I'm now able to close a tab of my own stream because I'm now rating it myself. Welcome into Carrie, actually, and Berry Sweet. I almost said Bittersweet. Welcome into Yelp, Reign Supreme, and of course Willow. Willow and Raiders, feel free to lurk. Right now we are trying to close off the water turbines just so we can keep the liquids in there, and also not have too much liquid. So, I hope your stream went well. I was lurking in it for a while. Why are they not doing this yet? Is our digger not able to get up there? Or are they sleeping? I don't know what they're doing. Coral seed, okay. Building, digging, doctoring, we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. We have a lot of coral seeds. The trees are what we don't have a lot of. I'm gonna reject all of them. Let's look at our skills while we're here. Builder. Reduce stamina consumption when swimming. We'll do that for now. I am completely done. Nicola is our new person. They can now do the sushi bar, which is what we're getting close to unlocking. And I'm pretty sure Sophie is done as well, yes. But the only one that's not done is Yap, because we put them in plumbing. If we took the plumbing out, we would actually have an extra skill point, just like Sophie and myself. Yap is our rancher. Alright, I think we can close this off and not have any issues. We may have a little bit of overpressurizing. You know, instead of closing off like that, let's build the tiles from down here. It doesn't seem like this tile is ever becoming a gas tile, so I might also open that as well. I think I am. You know, no, we'll wait. Yeah, why aren't we coming up here to dig this out? I feel like Sophie is... Oh, Sophie's right there. Is Sophie too stressed? Sophie is getting too stressed because our gas pressure rose when we dug into here. So we have almost 8 kilograms of oxygen in every tile. It might be worth putting a massage building over here. I'm in the wrong place. Where is it? Medicine? Medicine. Put a little massage table over here. Hopefully this will help them become unstressed. I am keeping an eye on Sophie to see what they're doing. Alright, they are coming over here to dig out everything. How far does this go? Not too far further. We can build these tiles in now. Let's build those 2 tiles. I'm gonna deconstruct that tile now and tell them to queue up the next 2 tiles. This should still stay a vacuum with this being here. I'm just trying to not make this go up to overpressuring. It is. So we still have too much liquid in here. If I put that in now... No, I should wait until it was overflowing. Oh well. We'll do that. I'll wait for this to... No, we'll go up here. Once it gets up to this tile, I'm gonna deconstruct this. That'll make this a liquid lock. Hopefully when I place the tile back in, it doesn't put the debris out here. Actually, why not just pick up the debris? Okay, sucking it back in, let's do that. It should stay a vacuum. And this should not suck up all that liquid. It did. Oh well. Now we get to have fun filling this in. Because I don't want the carbon dioxide in there. We're gonna do some liquid shenanigans. That's gonna take a while. I'm still getting water right here. Why am I getting water from... Yeah, we can deconstruct that. I don't want liquids down here. Let's deconstruct those tiles and start coming down here further. We are trying to find the squids and more snails because we accidentally killed off all of our snails. Partially because every time we had a group of snails, these poke shells were there, and then they killed the snails when the eggs were there. And also because I didn't know the snails need to stay in a liquid. Okay, I had a feeling they weren't going to be able to grab the stuff at the very top. That's not new to me. I should have jumped in here and switched out the power. This should slowly bring more liquid into the tidal turbine, especially now that it can soak up all the liquid once it starts going back down. Probably shouldn't have deconstructed those tiles. What I'm trying to do now is push all the liquid over to the tidal turbine. But I also know when it starts going up more, it's going to go up to this tile, so I'm preemptively building there. Actually, might need to get all that. Hopefully, majority of this carbon dioxide goes down. Don't think it will. You know, what I could do to get this to not have any gases is start building those tiles in. Because this is frequently having that tile filled with liquid. I had a feeling somebody was going to be stupid enough to get stuck. I need to wait until this lowers and then starts coming back up before I can get myself out of here. Shouldn't be too long. Ah, I didn't do that right. No, I do want to build that. How do I want to do this? So that we can get a liquid lock here. Just right there and then deconstruct this one. If I'm right, this shouldn't get water. Ah, it does, okay. So I do still need to put that tile in. There definitely is more liquid in here than we need. So we not need to do those. Deconstruct this. And what I'm going to do is build these tiles in while it's daytime and hope that once we do that, this will pressurize up more to where we can deconstruct this tile the next time it fills up. That'll let extra water out of here. There we go. So this should stay a vacuum. Next time it overflows, it'll let the liquid out of here. Which, I don't know what we'll do with it. We'll do something with it, I think. Take a look at skills while we're here. 2, 1, 2, that's normal. Alright, rest of this stuff I don't care about. I am going to deconstruct everything that's in here, which is probably going to get Bulbasaur stuck. But that's just so I can get to these power lines if I need to. Alright, we have more power. Farming and ranching along with decorating, that's pretty good. Or a single tidier, we'll take the fried mushrooms. We'll also continue this going down. And let's do our second prediction. We have 1,200 points in tops, we have 0 points in bottoms, 10 points in buildings, 0 points in decorations, and 30 points in wallpaper. So let's see what we get this time. We have wallpaper. Congratulations. Assuming, going off of that, it's 30 points. I think that's Gino. Who actually won the points? It was Gino. Congratulations, Gino, on winning 1,000 and, well, let's say 1,200 points. Or close to it. Let's not click the wrong button and click the X this time. And then we can continue going south. What is this? Did we look at that already? We did. That's something I want. Because I put on a 7. So they should be making constant stuff. I do want to send somebody to the other asteroid so that we can get a radiation science thing going. I should probably just start researching it and get the other two science things done so that I only have to send one dupe over. We didn't get this yet. So we actually want those first. We also had this up here. Does a stable not want... No, actually, a stable's fine with industrial machinery. So when we get the slugs, we're actually going to move this stuff over here. And I suppose we'll put it into a storage bin. Which I'll have to research because I don't think we have that unlocked. No, we don't. We don't have any of the storage bins unlocked. So let's get down there and deconstruct the power lines. Let's also deconstruct the pumps. We're gonna have to change how these doors work if we're gonna keep Musin in here. I think we did the math on that correctly. Let's do that, and then this. You know, let's just make the whole tile, or the whole floor of this. I'm gonna try to clean up this area and make it look a little bit better. Are there any other mucin bottles? There are a couple over here. There's probably a couple up here. Yes, there are. I am gonna put them all onto one tile. Make it easier for us to relocate. And what I'm preparing to do is start growing the trees for the gum. Hello, Will. I just saw your message a few minutes ago. Hopefully you can cool off. I don't think... Actually, we probably will have to start ranching the tower cups at some point. Put some ladders so they can get down here. I don't know if we're going to need to do the ore holes, because I don't think we're going to get into doing anything steel related. Mucin right there, we'll bring that over as well. I don't think there's any more mucin bottles. Apparently we have reed fiber. What's in here? This looks like a beach biome. Oh, they're not going to be able to get out of here. Are you unable to swim? Bulbasaur? No, Bulbasaur can get out of there. I don't, they're just sitting there to soak up the oxygen. Luckily they can get out now. I didn't think about the ladder beforehand. Is this a bee biome? I mean, that is uranium ore. We don't have to go to the other asteroid for radiation anymore. Awesome. I did not realize we had bees here. Oh, we do. I should have known that we had bees. Alright. Now that I'm looking at the to-do list, I probably should update that. Because that is not actually our to-do list anymore. We opened the temporal tower already. How do we want to say this? Yes, temporal. We're definitely going to use temporal terra to travel farther. Okay, this should be correct, although I may need more room on the to-do list thing. If I do an asterisk before each one, that'll be a little bit easier to read. If I save that. The to-do list is now updated. Hopefully that's all readable. I actually want this a little bit moved. Let's go right there. That should be better. Gasket, because we're not making them. That's probably what I'm going to grab. I think we definitely have a supplier. We have a farmer, we have a researcher, and an operator. So I don't think we need any of this, because I'm not going to do rocketry. We're probably not going to need a doctor. Take the rubber gasket. We have not had to make a single gasket this entire time. Because we keep getting them from the pods. Okay, the whole reason why I had this over here is so that I could empty it and hopefully not make a large mess. If I do, I'm going to have to turn these into tiles I can mop. So I was hoping that this would travel that way a little bit. How do you ranch the snails? If this idea didn't work. Or maybe I just had too much of one spell. I don't know, chat. We're just gonna mop it all up and move the mucin back to where it was. Being in this area, but not exactly the tile it needed to be. I'll figure that out later when we have more snails. 221, I can ignore that. What are we missing? We need water. There's water here. Although you're not saying you can get the water. This is too deep in salt water to be able to get the water, so let's deconstruct that. Also gonna deconstruct this. Hopefully if I put that there, it'll be able to get water. It looks like this whole biome down here is the bee biome. So we must have like a really small squid area, because that's the bottom of the colony, or bottom of the asteroid. I know it's not going to be up top because it's a heated area. So maybe it's like one of the two sides here. I don't know, I'm just excited to get some of this uranium ore. Oh, here's the other biome. Polluted brine. So it's bees and then heat right underneath it. Alright, let's break into here. I'll go to at least right there. We have our manual generator, material studies terminal. We need refined metal for that? I never noticed that needed refined metal. We'll turn the refinery back on. I don't remember how large the material studies terminal is. I think it's a 5-wide terminal or 5-wide building. But I don't remember for sure. also now have 3/4 of the amount of power we need for this metal refinery to run constantly. And this apparently doesn't have enough liquid because there's that oxygen right there. I actually want this right there. Oh, if Willow is still here, I'd like to point out that I'm doing the bridge idea that Willow has pointed out multiple times in her streams. That if you put a bridge on your power line, that's the spot that's going to break before the wires. So we put it on the refinery, since that is the thing that's going to break the wires, so that the rest of the stuff doesn't break, and we just have to worry about the refinery losing power if we don't fix the bridge quick enough. Alright, we're halfway done. We got that done, so we can do the rad welt reflector. So let's start building how I'm gonna do this. I like doing 3 of these. And then I'll go like this and put the terminal thing over here. And this will go diagonally. I'll probably have to get rid of this ladder, which we don't actually need. That's all of that's stations, not refinement. I do have to get rid of the ladder. We also need power going all the way over here, so let's take power from up here instead. I think it goes to that tile, but it could be wrong. Could be offset by a little bit. Go into stations and grab it, and then go to the power overlay. Oh, I actually got it right. Look at that. No, I want the power line. So once they deconstruct those ladders, we can do that. And then once they finish down here, we'll grab some of this uranium. Could also grab the beta hives. I don't know if I'll go into the beta hives or not. Bulb bloom. Is this just a flower? Yes. It is a decor thing. The salt, awesome. I definitely want to get in here, but the very hot compared to very cold temperature is going to be fun to work with. Evaporation point is 246. Freezing point is 5. So this might be getting cooled down more than the area is getting warmed by the water. I have no idea. Check on our skill points. Nicola can go into fine dining just for that extra +2 in cuisine. And then they'll go into advanced research. There is a Starmie in chat if anyone wants that Pokemon. We'll get Otto into improved carrying, and then we'll get them into swimming. Yalp is one of our original dupes, so we don't have to worry about that. I think the next thing that we should probably get a dupe for out of this whole thing, since we have a farmer, someone who's actually interested in farming. Forget who it is. It's our builder. We won't need a decorator, but a tidier would be nice. So if we can get a good tidier, either at this point just single interest tidying, or tidying mixed with anything else we're not currently doing, like doctoring or decorating, that would be great. So it looks like we'll be stopping at 7 dupes. We were getting ready to do the trees. How tall are the trees? Are they 4? They are 4 blocks tall. So I need pretty much a room in what I usually do. So that's 1 tree, 2 tree, 3 trees. That's all the trees we can do. And then I'll make this floor there, deconstruct all this and this, and I'm gonna dig out and put a roof over top of our base. Move this over to here. That'll be a lot to work through. We'll also cancel them, taking that out, and I'm going to deconstruct that ladder. And this. They did all that, so let's get Material Studies Terminal. Right there. What was the next research we were going to do? We have that. I think we're just going into this. Yes, I know we're missing a research station. Do we get a tidier? Glue swig egg. We do have a tidier. Anemic I'm fine with as a debuff. Blue swigs are not hostile creatures unless their eggs are nearby, so they work just like the crabs. Take the tidier. And we'll put Ruby right there. We're gonna obviously put Ruby into tidying so we can get the plumbing off of Yelp. Put Yelp in the ore scrubber, or skill scrubber again. It's the second time that they've gone in there. And I probably should move Yelp to the other schedule. So now it should be Sophie, myself, and Bulbasaur up here. That's actually Otto up there. Put Otto up there. So now these 4 dupes are on the same schedule, and these 3 dupes are on the same schedule. Now we have a little area that we can get the little tower kelps. I might be able to get them to grow more if I dig this way. What's going on with these? Colony lacks improved farming 1. I didn't realize we need a farm for that. We'll be fine. It was suffocating. Ruby, because you're super slow. Yeah, no, we're gonna wait until we have all 3 plants. What's going on here? Oh, it's because of Yap. Okay, so now Yap is just like the other original 3 people. And Yap is just ranching. Yap is still there. Who is our other farmer? It looks like Bulbasaur. Yes. So we'll do that so that they do building over farming. I'm surprised that these buddy buds are surviving in this water. Ah, here's more squids. That's probably how we got the egg. There's some Packoos here mixed with that crab. Those Packoos are gonna die. We could dig into here just to see what else we can find in there. They're almost done cleaning up the floor, so they should be building everything now. So if I go like this... And if I dig another 2 tiles, that should move the carbon dioxide out of the way so that this liquid can make the tower kelp grow further north. We are ready to uproot this tree. Isn't there gumwood right there? Oh no, that's a seed. By the way, we're ready for 3 trees to be planted over here. I do want to see in here, so let's dig through this portion. Okay, the carbon dioxide underneath the trees did move a little bit, so we should be growing that kelp tower a little bit more. We did get a little bit more unlocked here. I don't have to worry about this hydrogen so long as I don't dig into here. The only amount of hydrogen I have to worry about is right here, so... I think we're safe to dig this way in here. But if we go down to here, we can just walk through here. We do have a safe way to see all these Pacus. I'm gonna put a dig command way out here. Should be able to get to there. And this is just so we can get somebody to explore that area. The gas pressure in here should be rising because of us having the carbon dioxide. There is a Venomoth in chat if anyone wants one. Put a dig command up here now so we can explore further into here. Ah, we have another snail. We can start ranching the snails again. This is the alternate snail, though, where we get obsidian. Actually, no, the shells get crushed into gold amalgam. They both give us obsidian. What is this? Pin pocket? Pin pockets produce pin pokey, which can be processed into uni or diamond. We also have pips over here. Here's a pin pocket. Oh, it's the same thing as us, it's just smaller. So what is uni? Edible flesh of a pin pocket. Oh, I see. We add stuff to it and it becomes that. Do we add anything to it? No, it don't add anything to it. It just gets turned into there. They crack it open. Alright, what did it say we needed to feed it? That's not what I want. Refined carbon. How do we get refined carbon from a plant? I forget. From the squid ink. Okay, we might actually ranch the squids. I definitely want to get into here to get the snails, though. We get the guild goo eggs when they're too hot. Okay. First up is radiation. We gotta get in here to get some of this uranium ore. I know that is gonna flood this area. It's gonna give us a bunch of chlorine that we'll have to work out later on. More rubber boots. Who's the next rubber booty person? Well, since we have them named, we'll do Bulbasaur. In this thermal gas fissure, we can use... get natural gas. I don't know if we will. I'm also debating on if we're going to do pips. Okay, we got a little bit of uranium ore, so we can start doing these now. That allows us to start doing the radiation science for us, and we have very little food. All of a sudden, I was told that we had enough critters. So let's kill off all of our fish. I should say all of our extra fish. What is in our ingredients? Oh, nori. I don't think we can do anything with Nori right now. No, we can't. We need the sushi place. We can feed them to the ore holes. Get polluted mud. Oh, we need lice loaf for this. So they're taking lice loaf as rice for the sushi roll. That's funny. So I guess we do need to get into the pit area to get mealwood. Where's the easiest way to get into these? Probably up here. Yeah. I'm gonna release all this water. That's gonna all trickle down. All the way down here. Okay. You know what? Let's just mix the liquids and stop caring about it. Okay, all the way into here. I should probably keep an eye on uranium ore, so I know when we're going to run out. Meal just needs dirt. So if I go back onto Professor Oakshell's website and go to Sushi Roll, or 8 dupes. Sorry, 7 dupes. We're not doing an 8th dupe. Life loaf ingredients. We're gonna switch this to mucin. We apparently need less than 1 plant of tower kelp, but we need almost 12 plants of mealwood. So let's make an area for mealwood. I did say something about putting a roof over this, so we'll do this. We'll carry this ladder up here. And I suppose just dig out a 2 tile tall area here. And then this is going to turn into another area, but 12 of these tiles have to turn into mealwood. From there to there, and then farm tiles. Then all we have to do is get into here far enough for us to get the mealwood. Cancel 4 tiles. There is mealwood right there, so we'll have to dig over to that as well. Should be grabbing the seeds from below. There is a geyser or vent here, or volcano. Carbon dioxide. I had a feeling that was going to be near the roof for some stupid reason. It would have made sense for it to be with the bees. Let's dig in here and grab at least one more mealwood. There will be more over here. But I think our main priority is building right now. How are we doing on the research? We're almost halfway done the research. We are... I don't know how far we are on uranium ore, but we're pretty distant there. Do these guys make mucin? Because they seem to be in polluted water. Okay. I'm trying to think of how I want to get into here without making the natural gas go all over the place. And I think I want to come in through the right side, where there's less chance of running into the squids. Oh, some of our stuff froze. Nice. Actually, where did it all go? We had a lot more polluted water than that. I don't think it all froze. Unless it's in like little packets here. I don't know. We're gonna ignore that. We are getting closer to having this done. I think I should make this a little bit easier to get up. Yeah, our one dude is fine. Blueprint. Nutrient bar. Get that little bit of food boost. And let's look at our skills, see if we can get anything better. Nope, not yet. We're close to getting another skill point for everyone. I'm tempted to make this a lower priority than all the stuff up here. But it also is a very complicated way to get up here. There are more mealwoods down here, so let me see if I can get into here. That's two, that's two, that's two. So if we do that system, we'll be able to get everything in there. Apparently we have 2 mealwood seeds. I do see them, but I didn't think we'd have them. Let's get them placed in or queued up at least. Alright, now we should be focusing on just sticking everything up here. How close are we on research now? 4 research points away. We still have uranium ore. So I'm not too worried about that. Oh, the gas pressure over here is too much. I didn't think we'd have that as an issue. Alright, let's place that over there. We're gonna have to make this a pressure resistant room. We're gonna need to switch our research to something else in a little bit. Manual air locks. Gas pump, automation, we need a pressure sensor. Which I guess I don't have unlocked. Alright, we have all the food stuff. We need wood for this, apparently. We'll get that going soon. Alright, I need to go to gases. And we need this. Oh wait, I can't place that there. Can I? No, I can't place that there. Let's cancel that, and I guess we have no choice but to place it here. I could put an atmos sensor over here, though. Let's do both those to see how much cobalt we have by the end of it. We're definitely going to need more cobalt, so I think I might just queue up 200, or not cobalt, more 200 zinc. Welcome in, first time chatter. I use an air pressure sensor to control the lights to the corals, otherwise the coral is unaffected. Oh, really? I didn't even think of that. No, I don't want to use the other thing. So I could just cancel everything I just built over here. Because it is probably part of the reason why we're over pressurizing the thing. Yeah, we're gonna cancel everything I was just started to build. And we'll get back our automation from here. Thank you for that. And thank you for the new follow. You know what? No. I do want all of this just so that we can get the trees going while we stop the other stuff. So we'll do this, but we're also going to do this. Are we not cooking eggs? Is that what's going on? Oh, we don't even have the option to cook egg. Need an egg cracker. No, we're purposely keeping the eggs here. We want the fish for the seafood, not the eggs for omelets. We have the Atmos sensor for here and for here. And then we also have the high gas pressure valve, which needs... We have a gasket. It needs 200 refined metal. So we might need... We're probably going to need more refined metal. I should probably do this, so that we can keep track of how much we have. Send a green signal if below... I guess that's okay. If it is above 10,000. Alright, that's what it said this needed to be below. Yes. So I do need to get the power connected back in here. And then we need to figure out how I don't have enough gasket. I have 2 units of gasket. Is that not the same? Or do I just need the metal and then it shows up? I guess I got lucky on my first oceanic map. I got 2 iron, 2 gold, aluminum, copper, volcano. That does sound wonderful. We do have iron on here somewhere. I think it's this volcano over here. It's either that one or the lower one. I forget which one, but one of them is iron. Actually, if I look at this... Ooh, I put them both on a 7, so I don't know which one of them is iron. But I know it's one of the 2 to the left of our base. Look at this. More rubber boots. Who's the next dude that gets rubber boots? We'll do auto. We'll hold off on our cook, because our cook is going to mostly stay in the base. What's going on with these guys? Pressure. Yeah, they're also having the 10 kilogram pressure issue. I don't know how we're getting all of these seeds all of a sudden. I'm guessing we're digging them up in the buried object stuff. So we might not need to come all the way down here. Especially since there's 2 seeds that we're digging up there. We only need 3. We'll probably find a 3rd one. Let's ignore this. I'll let them keep going in here because they might find a 3rd seed while they're doing that. If they don't have all their seeds by the time they're done all that digging, then I'll do another. But this is going to keep them off until we're 1 kilogram. This is going to keep going. I'm not going to turn that. I can't turn them off because they're with the beacons. I actually don't need all these now I'm thinking about it. Because this is enough for 3 dupes, 6 dupes. We could cut down to this. And get rid of these 3. I think I will. And by doing that, I'll go... just cut that off. Empty storage a few times. This should be emptying the pipe. The pipe is now empty. And then for all of this, I'm just gonna plumb it out. Now, I'm going to slowly work this over. Can you make clothing yet? I think I have the fabricator unlocked. I just haven't started doing the clothing. Yep, that. We'll put them into farming. Ruby can do plumbing since we need that. Swimwear will help with stress. That's a good point. Do have the textile loom. It is a big building though. Where would I want to put it? Honestly, if I moved the refinery over 1 tile, that would be better. There's a Jinx in chat if anyone wants that Gen 1 Pokemon. That should be all correct. power is correct. Put the swimwear on. Purposely still keeping the refinery connected by bridge. No, we should move the bridge over one. Put it there instead and deconstruct that wire. Once it's ready, we're going to make one swimwear and one rubber boot and see who doesn't have both. I know we got one free swimsuit, but I don't know if we got any more after that. I know we have 4 dupes with the boots. Let's do our 3rd prediction, or at least start it, so that we can have that ready by the end of the stream. So is the button on the top left, the little blue button. So I'm going to give us tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper. You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting right now. And at the end of the stream, we will see what we get. Do I need them still doing this? I don't think I need them to still do this. Alright, let's do... one. We do have a little bit of reed fiber. We probably should make some Atmos suits for down here when we get into this hot area. It is 155 degrees, so the moment we start walking in there, we are going to start getting burned. Atmosphere up here is getting lower. We should be fine soon. I mean, that did seem like it dropped about 200 grams fairly quickly. We do have all the seeds we need, by the way. Let's get the sushi place down. We never even placed it down. That's because we need wood. There is some wood right here. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we're going to at least come up here and get it. I should probably make sure that everything is still auto-harvestable. I haven't done this in a while. Okay. Means we do get the hexalin fruit. We get some tree leaves. I'm actually going to dig the oxyfern so that the arbor tree can grow a little bit more. Same thing with this oxyfern. So now we have quite a lot of wood. Let's get that sushi bar right next to the grill. And now we have one of both clothing pieces, so rubber boots. Let's start with that. We need one more rubber boot. Swimwear, we do only have one, so if I made 2, we need 5 more. That's our last rubber boots, and now everyone has rubber boots. No one should slip ever again. And then in here, we are gonna look at this. Salty sticks and nosh beans make edamame. You need that food press thing for lice loaf to make the sushi. I know, but we're not making the mealwood yet. I do have space for the lice loaf, or for the thing. We won't be able to queue this up until we have lice loaf, but we also don't have fresh fillet. So I'm going to take fillets off of here. I'm going to keep the raw shellfish on there, though. So that means the next time they should come in here. We should probably get the micro musher in now. Do we get any more food from this? We do get pakus. We're gonna do that for the fillets. Oh, they're all starting to go to the right now. There's a larger pool of water for them to go into. So they're all gonna be way down here, which means we're gonna be eating things, okay? I don't feel the need to ranch the pakus when we have the other fish. Are they gonna build this or not? We do have a lot of nori over here. Turn that on. What does this need? Apparently we can make one of these? But we don't have mealwood or nosh bean. So what? I mean, I'll queue it up just because I think it's funny that it says we can do it, but I don't think we can. I think it's just gonna put the water wheat seed in there. Yeah, they can't make this. Let's put Yaup in a suit. The next suit will go to me. Actually, I'll go to Sophie because I already had the first one. Okay, up here it is down somewhat another 200 grams. So it's not too long before those start growing. For some reason, nobody has come down here to plumb it. Oh, he can't swim yet. So if we do this, we should be able to come up here and start plumbing out the liquid. How long before these die? Is there a way to tell? Don't know if there's a way to tell. I think it'll at least starve. Okay, I was trying to see if they were going to pick up the fillets, but they're not, because we don't have a storage bin open for them yet. Let's get Nicola and Otto wearing these, and they should be making the last swimwear, which they are. Alright, I am having a little bit of a hard time figuring out what we're going to do for the remaining of the stream. They apparently can't do this from the ladder. I doubt they have enough skill points to get into swimming. Yeah, they definitely can't get into swimming yet. Otto has another skill point though. Put them into swimming. Our cook needs to at least get advanced research so that they can help the researcher, Otto. Or we put them with the applied science hat. They don't need to go into any of the other sciences though. So after that, they're going to start going into improved carrying. Bubblezor is going to start going into farming now, since they have their swimming thing, and then they'll go into improved carrying. So they are probably going to be one of the most morale intense dupes. We could also not be plumbing them because Ruby is getting massaged. And I should probably move this further away. I'm gonna try moving it up here and seeing if that'll be a little bit better. I think what was going on is carbon dioxide was down here, making it flicker on and off. But if I put it up here, there won't be any way for carbon dioxide to be there. Alright, I think what we're gonna do at the start of the next stream is start coming down here to get the slugs, start doing the squids along with the other food stuff that's in here, and then that's probably going to be it for this colony. So I don't think there's much more for us to accomplish after doing lice loaf into the sushi rolls. We have more than enough plants for us to do this. As you can tell, we have almost 200 kilograms of nori. I do want that to be for below. Deconstruct that. We are starting to get a better system of them going. Body temperature. No, this is too hot? What? First it's pressure, and now it's temperature. I have to find a way to put a cooling loop in here. I think I might just put a really long liquid loop coming into this area with radiant pipes and then going back up. We could do that to cool down the entire base, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Alright, that's definitely what we're going to be doing in the next stream, is doing a cooling loop that requires 0 power whatsoever. It's probably only going to need 1 bridge, and of course, liquid to fill it in with. How hot are we, though? 87, 89. We are getting a little too hot for the dupes. I'm surprised that they're not actually getting the damaged by it. Because don't they get damaged when they get to 75-degree atmosphere? Oh wait, no, I'm on Fahrenheit. I forgot we were doing that for we were doing that just to look at stuff. Alright, this will make more sense to everyone. It's 30 degrees down here. We're not actually too hot. But now it's back to an air pressure thing. It's a toss between air pressure and temperature now. Alright, we're gonna have to definitely do temperature, because if our base is starting to get too hot. We might want to come... Oh, this is where all the polluted water went. I don't know why I didn't notice it way over here. But I'm debating on if we do it in here, the cooling loop, or up here where we're going to be breaking into hotter temperature area. We could also do it in here, which would be closer, but I think there's even a closer one over here. There is. So we could cut through this instead. We have options. It might be easier just to go over here. But anyway, we will do that in the next stream. We're going to do our final prediction and then figure out who we're going to rate out to. So in our prediction, we have 30 points in wallpaper. I hope you win. Oh, we got gloves this time. That is a pair of tops. All right. Let's save the game. Do a save and quit, and then go into our rate out scene to see who we're going to rate out to.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.